I don't have a lot of time because I'm going to an appointment. I'm going to an appointment soon, but I just wanted to see if anything wanted to come through in my books here. I am training you in steadiness. Too many things interrupt your awareness of me. I know that you live in a world of sight and sound, but you must not be a slave to those stimuli. Awareness of me can continue in all circumstances, no matter what happens. This is the steadiness I desire for you. Don't let unexpected events throw you off course. Rather, respond calmly and confidently, remembering that I am with you. As soon as something grabs your attention, talk with me about it. Thus, I share your joys and your problems. I help you cope with whatever is before you. This is how I live in you and work through you. This is the way of peace. This is relevant because I was literally because I keep feel like I need to give up coffee. I need to make a few changes in my diet. And my ego is like, no, I don't want to do it. It's like kicking and screaming over something that's so insignificant. And today is like a really big deal for me. Like regardless of the end result of today, I'm going to do something that is a big deal for me, regardless of how it turns out. And my ego has surrendered so much that in spite of today being a big day and a big deal, it is still upset that I'm trying to, I'm telling it we need to give up sweet and low. It's like, no, it's like a toddler is like, this is the last straw. I have to fight for the only thing I have left. And so, I was feeling pretty bad earlier over this, in spite of how much nonsense that is, until I remembered, until I realized that's what was going on. It's like my ego is really just trying to hang on to anything that it can because I'm forcing it through so many doors right now. April 18th. Peace is my continual gift to you. It flows abundantly. It flows abundantly from my throne of grace, just as the Israelites could not store up manna for the future, but had to gather it daily. So it is with my peace. The day-by-day collecting of manna kept my people aware of their dependence on me. Similarly, I give you sufficient peace for the present when you come to me by prayer and petition with thanksgiving. If I give you a permanent peace, independent of my presence, you might fall into the trap of self-sufficiency. May that never be. I have designed you to need me moment by moment. As your awareness and your neediness increases, so does your realization of my abundant sufficiency. I can meet every one of your needs without draining my resources at all. Approach my throne of grace with bold confidence, receiving my peace with a thankful heart. I'm dwindling my items, my personal belongings. I'm narrowing them down a lot to what I feel is essential. The second agreement. Don't take anything personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Many people have told me that my father's 4 agreements, the second one, don't take anything personally, is the most difficult to practice. One way to think about this is to understand that all people, you, me, and anyone else, uniquely perceive the world through our own senses, and by definition, we can't possibly be having the same experience as someone else. We may dress similarly, we may speak the same language, but every single one of us has a different perception, and no two perceptions will ever be exactly the same. Only in your imagination can you see the world through the eyes of another. That's not true. Not just in imagination. Some people have like clear sentient gifts. I know I've experienced flashes of other people's consciousness. I mean, in a general, like, I don't feel like I was, when those things happened to me, I don't feel like I was consciously doing it, but I don't think I'm supposed to go off on a tangent about that. 818. Oh, what do we have here? The law of least effort. Nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease, with carefreeness, harmony, and love. And when we harness the forces of harmony, joy, and love, we create success and good fortune with effortless ease. This is true. Like, how many times have you been like trying to accomplish something and you're just like it's so hard and you're struggling so much just to push through, and that turns out to be like what's making it harder, and it's really a clear indication that you need to stop what you're doing. It's kind of strange because like there's like not very many people at all watching my channel right now, but since I've restarted it in my journey with God and the universe in the way that was in alignment with God and the universe instead of my way, I'm able to upload a video in like 3 minutes. And before, it was taking me 3, 4, 5 hours to upload a video, same phone and everything. Like, I got to the point where God would like actually was like, no, we're not allowing you to continue this journey without us like majorly interfering. And I was unable to upload a video because it would say like 4 days to upload. Like, it stopped me. God and the universe stopped me. Okay, I'm gonna read whatever this is. Like, I don't even care what's on the other page behind it. Let's just read it anyway. Oh, this is the 7 spiritual laws of success. I will then ask my heart for guidance and be guided by its message of comfort and discomfort. If the choice feels comfortable, I will plunge ahead with abandon. If the choice feels uncomfortable, I will pause and see the consequences of my action with my inner vision. This guidance will enable me to make spontaneous, correct choices for myself and for all those around me. Yeah, I was getting a message from my team letting me know that I need to pay attention to my bodily sensations when I'm making a decision today. The old me would assume like, okay, then don't do it. Don't make the decision to yes, do something, or no, don't do something. Yeah, I always assumed the worst. And it takes me back to that night that God sat me down and give me a stern talking to. And God was saying that I need to have hope, and that it's not okay to not have hope just because you don't want to face disappointment. And I was like, yeah, but if you expect the worst, then you can at least be pleasantly surprised. And I would rather live my life that way. And the spirit that was visiting me squeezed the water bottle in front of me, spooked the bejesus out of me. Like, that was the life-changing moment in all of this. Like, that's when I like stopped and I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. I made God mad. Like, that really was a critical point. My evolution, in my spiritual evolution, that was like the apex. That was like my humbling moment, when something out of this world, something in the unseen, imposed itself on my reality in a way that I could no longer ever see the world the same way. I mean, I spent half of the rest of that conversation like this because I was scared. I was like freaked out. I was so freaked out. That was in May, and it is August. And I'm worlds away. I am worlds away from the person that still exists in that time. My consciousness is what moves through time. This idea of time, anyway. As soon as I pulled onto the street here, I hit some construction, and I immediately was like, oh, I'm glad I left early. And the car in front of me has like huge purple butterfly sticker on it. Every time I see purple, I just think royalty, which is funny because I kept hearing a reference to thrones and crowns, and I was like, that's kind of, I don't know what that means, but royalty. I think maybe it means spiritual royalty, because what I'm doing today is, I mean, it's easy, but it was not easy getting to today. And, you know, if I end up deciding to lease this apartment, like, the decision will be easy in a sense, but it will also, you know, like, it just signifies letting go of a lot, which is a big deal. I just wanted to jot down mentally that I just had this great idea for a company called New World Slogans, and it could be like affirmations on the backs of business cards that kind of go in, that are like in synchronicity with that business, whatever people are looking for. I know that it sounds like, well, why don't you just have the slogan? But it's because it's part of the new world, and that's why. Look, if I look like I've been crying, it's because I have. There were happy tears, just kind of like a lot emotionally is finally like coming out, just processing. So I went and I toured the apartment that I felt like I just could feel like this seems right to me. Like I kept feeling this. And okay, first let me just put out there that I did not fill out an application, and they told me that they needed proof of employment and weren't accepting assets as instead of proof of employment. So, but which I only have cash to pay for the appointment. I only have cash to pay for the apartment, and I don't have proof of employment because I'm employed by God in the universe this year. I'm, you know, spending this year developing my spiritual growth. So I was like, okay, well, can you ask your manager, like, because he was like, we don't accept assets, like, whatever. And I was like, okay, but if like I have the cash to pay for it, can you check on that? And they're like, okay, we'll get back to you. But then when I was on my way home, I called them. I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, when you talk to whoever you talk to, can you tell them that I have, like, I can just pay the lease? And they're like, okay, all right, well, you know, like, he was like, we don't accept that or something. And and I was like, so like, what's the purpose of the proof of employment? And he's like, I was like, why do I need that? He's like, you know, because you need to have like regular income. And I was like, but the income would be to know that I'm going to be able to pay the rent. So if I just pay it, like, that eliminates the problem. And he's like, but you still need proof of this. And I was like, but the whole purpose of that is so that I can pay it. So if I just eliminate the worry that I'm not going to not pay it, like, what is the deal? And he's like, well, we're going to have to get back to you. And I'm like, okay. What's funny is, like, I feel like me doing that, it worked out in my favor, because the guy, like, even if he goes to his manager and the manager is like, because he might now that person that I had that interaction with is like, wait, why are we forcing, like, why is the old world forcing people to stay in the trap of the American employment system in order to rent an apartment instead of letting them just pay the lease? Because it doesn't make sense. It's backwards. That, like, the whole purpose of proof of employment would be so that they can feel safe that that person's going to pay. But if they let that, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's starting to, like, help. I see how my presence and me just being me, and me being my autistic minded, neurodivergent seer healer. Neurodivergent people are the seers and the healers. That's what we used to be called. Anyway, yeah, like, we're sensitive to energy. Of course we're sensitive to energy. Anyway, but now I'm starting to see that in my interactions with people, where, like, me just being me is causing that person to confront the old world. And they're like, wait a minute, why are we doing this? That is how me being me is positively impacting the world. It's one of the ways that's happening. But anyway, this place, like, it's perfect. Like, it feels like it's perfect. Like, there might be something out there better, and I'm open to that, but man, it just went above and beyond my expectations. I could not be, like, I'm so excited, even though I haven't filled out an application. I haven't been accepted yet. But the feeling that it gave me is exactly what we need. That is what we needed. The feeling that new place is going to give me, and it gave me that. It gave me exactly that fuel that I needed to hang on to. And today is this judgment day. It's like a test. It really is a test day, because I kept being tested, because I kept failing this test before. I kept being tested in, do I have faith? Like, am I walking in faith? And the issue is, when you say yes to faith, you fail the test. I mean, at a certain point, like in the beginning, you do need that. Like in the beginning, you need that, and it like lures you away from, it's kind of like it's like a stepping stone into faith. Hope and faith are not the same thing. And I kept hoping for things, and then when they didn't look in my 3D reality the way that I wanted them to, or was expecting them to, because I got my hopes up, I was feeling disappointed. And so today, when I got there and I was experiencing that, where I'm like, no, this feels right. Like, why are you telling me, like, why isn't this matching what I feel inside? Instead of me, like, I mean, I still felt some of that, but I'm like, no, we're not gonna follow that. It's okay. Like, this is a part of the process. Like, I still have faith that if this is right for me, which it feels good, like thinking about it makes me want to cry, then I have faith that that's what it's going to be, and I'm not going to be crushed by it, because God isn't going to put something on my path that doesn't serve my highest good. And it was not any sort of, like, to me, it is like the biggest luxury like you could imagine. It is affordable. It is a smaller place. Like there's parking that's close, which my concern for that would be like how easy it is to move my stuff in and out. The location is great. I walked up to it, and a group of people, like I saw a group of people who visually looked kind of like the idea I have of the this soul family to me, like diversity. And I met a woman who was out for a walk, and I walked up to the office with her, and her name was Choice. And I just was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I go to tour the apartment, and the numbers are like 4321. I was like, that's right, blast off. So I'm putting out into the universe to how we make this happen. I'm gonna keep that gratitude for showing me this, showing me what's possible. That, I mean, I just couldn't even ask for more. It is so great. The people, I can't even, like, it is so great. Like, I can find peace there, I can find happiness there, I can find community there, I have places to walk, I'm close enough to transportation that I don't have to be chained to a car, I don't have to be chained to, paying for a license and registration and insurance and gas and tires and breakdown. I can eliminate all of that attachment there, and I'm going to do it. And I'm really feeling like called to if God and I can make this happen, if my team and I can make this happen, what I can do is document my journey in starting over from like scratch in this new world, and showing people how to build a legacy on very little, and just how much we can do with how little, like how seemingly little I'm starting out with. Because to me, what I have is already abundance, and I have this ability to make things grow. I have this God-given ability to see things to see abundance where other people see lack, and I have the ability to see opportunity where other people see lack. And I'm really like, even though like I have my same demons, you know, like my same, and it's not enough, your security is at risk, like I have the same thoughts, I have the same worries, I have the same fears. I'm still human too. But I think because of my ability to like hyper focus on things, I can really zero in on an energy like nobody's business. Like, you know, autistic people and their hyperfixations, and like I think some ADHD in there too. So when I get like something like this was gold. I was given a piece of gold today. This feeling of gratitude, this feeling of freedom that I can attach my soul to let it take off. That's gold. That's gold right there. So I don't have this apartment yet, but I do have the apartment, because I have all of the good stuff that comes from my idea of this apartment. All of those feelings that this apartment will give me have already given me. I already have that already exists within me now that I've gotten a taste of that. I know what's in alignment with that same energy. So I came home and, you know, I hopped online and started, as soon as I opened my thing, I got this message that, you know, is relevant to what's going on. And I, the soonest apartment was November. And I was like, oh, you know, I thought maybe I'd be moving sooner than that. But I asked for an abundance of time to move my stuff and to allow for a smooth transition that was going to leave my relationship with my mother in good standing. So, and I'll be there for Christmas. I am manifesting a Christmas tree for my new house. And when I was driving home too, I saw this tree. Remember when I was at that, I don't know, I think it was that walk that I went on where there was the Rocket Man, the Tin Man and the Rocket. Oh yeah, okay, so tapping into my heart chakra is what is going to send the rocket flying. That's this today, Judgment Day. I have learned that lesson of hope versus faith. So I'm congratulating myself, my spirit team. I can feel them celebrating. But so that one video where I was walking and then I was driving home and I stopped and I was like, oh, look at this weird tree, like that had been chopped up and somebody had placed bowls on top of it to look like mushrooms, and I was manifesting mushrooms because I wanted to see mushrooms to indicate all of the positive energy that other people are receiving from my love letters, my little synchronicity cards. And I saw the same thing, except it wasn't mushrooms, it was little tiny roofs, like tiled roofs, like new roofs, like new home. And I was like, that is so cute. That's so cute. Weird too. Like, is that a thing? Like people just like cap off their trees? Like I guess maybe it's to actually preserve like the tree, so it'll like the branches will start growing back, because it's both times it's been like a huge tree that had everything removed. Like maybe the branches were dead or something. But that individual that I met in Minneapolis, I've been in contact with, sharing some ideas. That's pretty exciting. Like it's exciting to have like somebody in my life that I was writing in my gratitude journal, like, thank you for like people coming into my life who are willing to acknowledge who I am. And then that happened and I met that person and then they reached out to me, and now I'm able to talk with that person as my authentic self, and it feels so good. And I was talking to my mother about who I am, and she rejected that. She told me she had been watching my channel and she was worried about my mental health, and we had we had a conversation, and it really kind of cemented my desire to leave here. But it really, I want to talk about this actually, it really triggered some old wounds of, you know, being denied my identity as a lesbian, as a gay person when I was, you know, 14 or so. Like, I was shamed for that, you know. Like, it's really hurtful when, you know, because we get to decide who we are. Nobody else gets to decide that. And then when the outside world is like, no, we don't, what you are saying you are, who you're saying you are, triggers me. It makes me feel threatened. So I'm going to deny you who you are. I'm going to deny your value. I'm going to deny your truth. And that's really painful. And so it triggered some of that. And partially that, even though it's like, on one hand, like the whole, at the current 3D reality that I'm in, no one is. Now there's one person who is at least not contradicting who I'm telling them I am. And that feels amazing. Even if they don't believe it, that's fine. Like, they're not telling me you're not this person. There's somebody in my life who's not trying to dictate to me who I am. And, oh, man. To be like, no, now I want to move because one person doesn't want to acknowledge who I am. But why would I want to stay in a home where the person not only didn't believe me who I am, didn't respect that, like didn't have enough respect for me to honor who I'm saying I am just by acknowledgement. They're expressing concern for my mental health. And so, like, there is definitely a parallel there between, like, you know, being a young gay person being like, this is who I am, please accept me for who I am, and they're going, no, we're worried about your mental health. That's not a healthy environment to live in. And I'm like, I don't have to accept into my life anyone who isn't willing to accept me as I am. And I'm done with this. I am so over this. And, like, I would rather be alone, but I'm not gonna have to be alone. I'm not gonna have to be alone. There are so many people out there just flipping through Facebook, and I'm starting to get on the same wavelength of people who think like me, you know, that, you know, like the things that they're talking about in their posts are in alignment with the truth that I want to live in, because there's a lot of different truths out there. We create truth. We create our reality, so we create truth. There's a growing number of us creating this reality that I'm creating, that we're creating together, and it is so much better than the world that we have been living in.